Welcome to Industry Beacon, where we shine a light on the trailblazers, the disruptors, the titans of industry shaping our future. And we're not just talking about success stories here. We're diving deep into their hearts and minds to see what drives them. I'm Mikey Oreta. Now, the Philippines is a nation on the rise, embracing the digital revolution with open arms. From bustling call centers to cutting-edge tech startups, the IT-BPM industry is driving economic growth and shaping the future. But as technology evolves at a breakneck pace, how can we ensure that our workforce is equipped to thrive in this ever-changing landscape? Now, joining me today as my co-host is IT-BPM industry expert, Jack Madrid. Hi, Jack. So many changes, so much growth in this industry, right?
The industry continues to grow. You know, during the pandemic, we actually grew 255,000 new jobs for Filipinos, and we're on track to grow in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's amazing. Everyone will always be looking to offshore to reduce operational costs. So this is a segment, this is an area where the Philippines is in a pole position, and it would be interesting to see what else we can do to maintain our top pole position here.
It's going to be a pivotal next couple of years, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence. But the Filipino workforce has proved very capable in its ability to understand, learn, and unlearn, and relearn new technologies. So with some upskilling and reskilling, we should be in good shape.
Yeah, AI is going to change the playing field, and it's not going to take away, it's going to give us more. It's going to give us more. There's that misconception that AI is going to take away a lot of stuff that we have. But no, when you look at the potential of what it can do, right, we can even get better high-value jobs because of this.
I agree. It's more of an opportunity rather than a problem. I view AI as being a very fast co-worker beside our agents. So think of it as the interaction of human agents with AI and the customer at the center. So yeah. I think we're in for a very interesting ride.
Yeah, when you look at it as a Venn diagram, that intersection where it all comes together, that is just gonna, make us drive us faster, make us smarter, make us stronger in this space. All right.
We have a very special guest today, so let us welcome a visionary leader at the forefront of this digital transformation. We have Benjamin Romualdez, who is also the president of the Australia-New Zealand Chamber of Commerce and the managing director of Telstra here in the Philippines. Industry Beacon will be right back.
Welcome back to Industry Beacon. With us is Benjamin Romualdez, a true pioneer in the IT-BPM industry, leading the charge in both Australia and the Philippines. We're eager to hear your insights on the transformative, nature of this industry and the interesting things that you're doing with AmScham. So, Benj, can you tell us, the Philippines has a well-established BPO industry. From your perspective, how would you describe where we stand globally in terms of the competitive landscape?
Hi, Mikey. Well, first, thanks for having me, and thanks, Jack, for having me as well. The IT-BPM industry in the Philippines is right at the top in terms of competitiveness. It's when you look at the engagement of the Filipino talents, the capability, and our location. Really, we rank right up there and can compete with the best of them.
What makes the Philippines an attractive destination, Benj, in your opinion, for prospective investors from Australia and New Zealand?
Well, first, Jack, you take a look at the large talent pool that we have, and not just the population size, but also that it's an English-speaking population. Relative to our peers in the region, the average age of the Filipino is about 25 years old, right? If you compare that to our peers in the region, where the average age could be 40, 45 years old, right? The cultural affinity of the Philippines to countries like Australia, New Zealand, there's There's this cultural affinity there that makes it easy for Filipinos working here to serve Australian customers, right? You have the infrastructure that's in place, as well as the government policies that support the IT-BPM industry. Really, it's a great recipe for success.
And geographically, the time zone is also favorable relative to others.
That too. The IT-BPM industry, I think, most of it, maybe over 70% of it, I think, serves North America. And it's tough for people that work the overnight shift, right? So working for an Australian-based company or an Australian-based operation, certainly we've received feedback from our employees and those around the industry that it is an attractive selling point for them to serve Australia.
We have the same time as Perth, Western Australia.
Yes.
So that makes it easy. I was going to ask you, Bench, can you describe the current economic relationship between Australia, New Zealand, and the Philippines? As I understand, a year ago, the relationship between Australia and the Philippines was elevated from a comprehensive partnership to a strategic partnership. Can you tell us what this means?
Yes, it was. So about this time last year, Prime Minister Albanese, visited the Philippines, met with President Marcos, and they elevated that partnership. And what that means is Australia and the Philippines, simply put, would like to do more trade and investments between each other. Right? Australia has implemented their Southeast Asia economic strategy, which I believe runs to 2040. And Australia recognizes that they have to do more in this region. It's a region of over 650 million people, and the capabilities in this region, especially in the Philippines, is really something that has been untapped and I think not promoted enough within Australia. So there are a lot of opportunities. In the last year, there have been several inbound trade and investment missions already from Australia to the Philippines, and that will continue. And next week, in fact, Jack and I are going to Australia to do an outbound mission where we will be with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, IT-BPM, and ANSCHAM together promoting the capability of the Philippines across 3 cities in Australia, first in Melbourne, then Brisbane, and finally in Sydney.
Yeah, that's nice.
There are already a number of success stories of Australian entities that have offshored their operations here, Bench. Can you just give us an introduction as to how they're doing? Because they will be the ambassadors as we try to increase business.
Sure. First, companies in Australia, they haven't necessarily offshored their operations completely. Many companies have set up regional offices. So it's not always necessarily about the transfer of work. I think it's about using the talent and capability in the Philippines to augment augment the capability in Australia. On the Australia-New Zealand Chamber of Commerce board, we represent some of the biggest names in Australia business. So I'm from Telstra, Australia's largest telecommunications provider. On our board, we also have executives from ANZ Bank, Macquarie, Qantas, GHD, BHP, QBE. So some of the biggest names in Australia have been here for many, many years. We have members that have been here for over 30, 40, or 50 years even. And the industry representation in the chamber is diverse. It's not concentrated in IT-BPM or financial services or mining. We have industry representation in everything from technology to consumer goods, manufacturing. You name it, we're probably representing it.
Benj, what are some of the key differentiating factors that make the Philippines different as an IT-BPM destination compared to other global hubs?
I think one of the differentiators I've seen is the engagement of the Filipino. When you look at our retention rates across different sectors, different companies, I don't think it's uncommon to see retention rates in the 90s or high 80s. And when you compare that to retention rates in other industries, I think the retention rates in the 90s are certainly high. That's the first thing, right?
How do we raise awareness for the capabilities of the Filipinos in this space? I mean, we're big on customer service, but there's so much more that we can do. What you guys are doing next week is pretty interesting. You have a mission an outbound mission next week to bring even the PEZA
Yes.
to Australia to tell them about what the Philippines can do. Can you talk to us more about this?
Sure. Yes, raising awareness of what is possible in the Philippines, I think, is job number one, right? So we are bringing the Philippine Economic Zone Authority and IT-BPM industry to Australia. And the reason why we're bringing these two organizations is because it's our very first outbound mission to Australia. I think PEZA is a great example of how it can be easy to work with the Philippine government. PEZA has the infrastructure, the capability, but they also make it easy for investors and companies that want to trade with the Philippines to navigate the regulatory landscape. And so that's PEZA's role on this roadshow. Bringing the IT-BPM industry through JAXA, IBPAP, I think will show the Australian business community the breadth of talent that we have here in the Philippines. I think one thing that's unique about IBPAP is that they serve all industries, and the number of functions that IBPAP member companies carry out is just vast. It's not just customer service. They do everything from customer service to engineering, HR, finance, data analytics, robotics. So it's a great example of what the Philippines can do. And we have about 14 to 15 ANSCHAM member companies joining us to show the Australian business community that there are success stories here of Australian businesses in the Philippines, that Australian businesses have been here for well over 40, 50 years in some cases, and that the big brands are here. It is not just a stable landscape to do business, but one where businesses can really thrive.
Jack, you're a big part of this mission. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask about some of the existing and potential challenges for Australia, New Zealand companies, as they look to scale their operations here in the Philippines. What can you tell us a little bit about?
Sure. I think one of the challenges, again, is just awareness of what we can do. And so, sometimes when companies come in to explore the Philippines, there's a little bit of that, preconceived notion that we're here for customer service, but there's so much more, right? Another challenge is just the regulatory landscape. Now, while we've taken a lot of strides to improve the regulatory landscape here in the Philippines, more can still be done. When you compare the Philippines to Australia, Singapore, the US, there are still other countries where it's easier to do business, and I think there's still a lot of work to do there. Although I do want to recognize that it's vastly improved from many years ago, but let's not stop the work in that area.
So the ease of doing business remains very much on the priority list of investors when they choose a destination.
Yes, it is, and which is why it's so important to work with the right government agency and industry bodies, right? Working with industry associations like the Australian New Zealand Chamber of Commerce or IBPAP really helps companies enter the Philippines. You quickly get connected to a network of peers, learn from other people's journeys, and with PEZA, that is the right government agency if you're in the IT-BPO space. They have the infrastructure, the capability, and they can really make working with regulators easy.
This industry, as we all know, Benj, is all about human capital. So let's talk about talent. Are there unique or specific domain skills that Australian, New Zealand companies will be looking for when they consider the Philippines?
I think so. We have examples in the chamber of companies seeking out engineers, various types of engineers, cybersecurity experts, data and analytics experts, people that are well versed and practiced in robotics, automation, software development, and AI is certainly an emerging technology that everyone wants to explore, regardless of the field or sector you're in. I think, as you said at the top of the show, it's going to make everyone faster. It's going to allow people to do more. We should be embracing AI. So those are the unique or highly skilled, specialties that Australian businesses are looking for. Probably not unlike other developed markets, but certainly, those are what we need to cultivate here in the Philippines.
Now, how to do it is another thing. What do you think we need to be doing in the educational system to make sure that our workforce is equipped to handle, all the evolution in this industry and the game changer that is AI?
So the Philippines partners with many institutions for education, right? And if the Philippines is going to serve markets like Australia, Europe, the US, we have to partner with their educational institutions to meet the demands of their market. A really good example of this just happened a few months ago. The Australia Trade and Investment Commission, or Austrade, they put together an inbound delegation that visited the Philippines. It was a delegation of about 31 educational institutions in Australia, and the chamber participated in that delegation. It was really to connect Australian educational institutions to the Philippine market, not just educational institutions here, but also the business community here, so that we could all understand what the needs are here in the Philippines and how Australian education institutions can help the Philippines meet those needs.
That's a really interesting point.
Increasing the talent supply is certainly IBPAP's first priority.
Yes.
Do you have any specific recommendations, Benj, on how Australia and New Zealand companies can support the skills development here so that our industry can continue to grow?
So I think the IT-BPM industry, while it's present in many provinces, it's still highly concentrated here in Metro Manila. And there is an abundance of talent out there. So I think, first to get Australian businesses to visit other parts of the country, I think will uncover a lot of capability. There are millions of Filipinos that moved out of Metro Manila, I think after the pandemic, and it's created jobs outside of Metro Manila. Let's continue that. And I think the infrastructure in the provinces outside Manila is improving, but it can improve much faster with increased investment.
Yeah, on that note, yeah, we really need to invest more in infrastructure and connectivity so that this sector can really grow all around the country. Thank you for joining us, Benj.
Thank you for having me.
The future of the IT-BPM industry indeed is bright, but it continues to require collaboration, innovation, and a commitment to developing our workforce.
So we'll all work together to ensure that Filipinos continue to lead in this particular industry. And that's it for today's show. I'm Mikey Oreta. Catch the Bilyonaryo News Channel on Free TV Channel 31 and on cable via Signal Channel 24. Thanks for watching the Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.